welcome to our channel, or another episode on our channel. Welcome to France. Today we're going to be talking about French. What about French? It's a really beautiful language and it's nuanced, it's poetic, but it's also really hard to learn. But you already knew that. What you didn't know about French are some of the more interesting things, like French expressions. To date, my favorite is "Est-ce que je te demande si ta grand-mère fait du vélo?" which is a very interesting way of asking somebody, or telling somebody who's asking you too many questions, that what they're asking is none of your business. So those are some of the things that you don't learn in class. And today, there are also lots of French expressions which are taken from pop culture. And so today we're going to look at 4 such expressions which are taken from French ads. Et c'est pas fini. This one is probably the most well-known of all of them because SFR has a commercial that's still running right now. So basically, anybody who is really excited or enthusiastic about whatever it is that they're talking about will give a lot of details because they're very knowledgeable about whatever the subject is, and they'll be like, et c'est pas fini. So when you see the SFR commercial and you see the sales rep explaining whatever offer SFR is offering, and then he says, et c'est pas fini, what does it mean? It means that he is an eager beaver. And here's an example.
J'arrive. Ah, coucou.
Salut.
Ça va?
Tu vas bien?
Ouais.
Qu'est-ce qui t'est arrivé à la jambe?
Je venais en fait d'avoir ma paye et j'étais dans les rues. Je me suis dit, il y a des soldes partout, des promos partout. Je vais en profiter pour faire un peu d'emplette. Et bon bah voilà, je vais dans la première boutique, je me prends 2-3. Après je vais m'acheter des jeans. Après j'ai trouvé une petite boutique. Et puis c'est pas fini parce que du coup à un moment je me retrouve, j'avais déjà quand même 5 sacs.
Et la marmotte, elle met les chocolats dans les papiers alu. And this is a saying that originates from a Milka ad, which was aired in 1998. And basically in the ad, we go behind the scenes of how Milka chocolate is made somewhere in the Swiss Alps in a barn, and we kind of see it from the perspective of this man who's secreted behind the barn. And when he looks inside, what he sees is that the chocolate is actually being made by like a bunch of farm animals. And then at the very end, we see that a marmot wraps the chocolate in aluminum paper, and then it gets finally packaged. And then the ad cuts to like modern day, not in the Alps, in a shopping center, and this man who witnessed all of this is telling a woman in line that like at the end, the marmot wraps the chocolate in the aluminum paper. And the woman looks at him and she's like, yeah, mais bien sûr, like, yeah, of course that happened. Basically somebody telling another person that they're talking nonsense and nobody believes anything that they're saying. But here's an example.
Et puis au moment où je repars, donc là je te jure que je commençais vraiment à plus pouvoir me mouvoir du tout, tu vois, j'avais 7 sacs, c'était lourd et tout, j'avais mal au poignet. Et du coup, je rentre à la maison, je me dis c'est pas grave, franchement, donc là tu vois, je commence à rentrer à la maison et puis je tombe sur le graffiti, tu sais, le grand graffiti vachement beau avec l'arbre et le corbeau.
Oui, avec le corbeau tout en haut.
Oui, voilà, c'est celui-là. Et en fait, si tu te rappelles bien, il y a un petit arbre à côté et sur cet arbre, il y avait le corbeau. Et franchement, les 2 trucs à côté, je me suis dit ça vaut bien une photo, quoi, franchement. Donc je commence à dégainer l'appareil, je pose tous mes sacs bien sûr, je dégaine l'appareil et au moment où je veux le prendre, je me fais percuter par une espèce de, franchement, une grosse bite géante rose sur une trottinette.
Une grosse bite géante rose sur une trottinette? Mais la marmotte, elle met le chocolat dans le papier d'alu. Oui, bien sûr.
Oui, non mais en fait, alors non, d'accord, vu comme ça, c'est pas... Ok.
Elle est mignonne. So this expression is taken from an advert for Lactel from the 90s, and it's considered one of France's cult commercials because of what was said in the commercial ended up being appropriated and used in everyday speech. So what makes the commercial noteworthy? Well, the children's use of really big complicated words like euphemisme and belvisé and cocker-sur-grue. I butchered that word, but in my defense, I'm not French, I tried. So at the end of the commercial, the mother in the commercial asks the little girl like what the word that I just butchered is, and the little girl gives a really complicated explanation, and the mom just goes, elle est mignonne, you know, basically giving the impression that the explanation the little girl gave was not useful, like it didn't explain anything. And what's interesting to note is that it's a fairly common used expression, but not many people know that it comes from the commercial, even though the commercial is also really well known. So what does it mean when you hear somebody respond by saying, elle est mignonne? It's like saying, that helps, not. And it can be used endearingly as well to tease a friend when they blunder or, you know, for example.
En fait, c'était une fille qui avait trouvé un costume de bite rose géante, qui était en trottinette et qui me dit « Ouais, désolée, je suis en retard pour mon intervention de vie de jeune fille. »
Ah, tu me rassures, c'était juste un costume.
Bah oui, non mais tu sais qu'elle est mignonne hein, celle-là, hein, parce que franchement...
Même pas tout ça, j'étais pas bien quoi.
Et je me relève toute seule, tranquille, normal quoi, et je prends mes sacs et là je me rends compte que juste je peux plus marcher. J'ai genre mal aux pieds, tu vois. Donc je me dis que c'est un peu compliqué là.
Bah, montre-moi comment ça faisait.
Ah bah oui, non mais parce que franchement, c'est... Tu vois, j'avais plein de sacs, il ne passait rien comparé à ce que j'avais, donc voilà, une fois que j'étais comme ça, en train d'essayer de rentrer, bah, j'avais mal, hein, je peux te dire, c'était pas facile, hein, puis j'avais l'air con surtout. Hein. Donc voilà, quelle qualité.
Que veux-tu? C'est le jeu, ma pauvre Lucette. So this saying came about and was popularized in an ad for the lotto, where we see an old couple and they're trying to decide where they want to go for their next vacation. So they spin the globe and basically leave it to chance, and wherever it lands is where they're going to go. It lands on Australia, where they've already been. And so the wife protests and the husband says, que veux-tu? C'est le jeu, ma pauvre Lucette. The way that it would be used if somebody were to say that to you just basically means like, well, you know, that's the way it goes in this game of life, my dear. And then Lucette is the diminutive form of the name Lucy. So, over to our last example.
Oh, qu'est-ce que veux-tu? C'est le jeu, ma pauvre Lucette.
Bah, c'est pas tout, mais montre-moi. Montre-moi un peu.
Well, that's all for this week on expressions. And if you have any expressions that you like, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. There are, of course, many other expressions which we haven't covered, but we hope to cover them in part 2 of this series or in our next video. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, favorite if you haven't already on Facebook and Twitter and all the other fun social places. And give us a thumbs up if you like it. And d'ici là, portez-vous bien.